Alright everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be going over Medusamon. So this is my third version of the deck, and I will update you as I change this deck a little bit more, but we've got the brand new support from BT24, so we're going to jump right into it. So you're going to start off with 4 copies of this Digimon egg from BT21. When an opponent's security stack is removed from you, may digivolve one of your Digimon into a reptile or dragonkin trait in the hand with the Digievolution cost reduced by 1. This is your primary egg. That is what you're going to be playing to help ramp up into your Medusamons while you're tearing through security. I do have this one from BT24. This is when opponent's security stack is removed from you, may delete one of their Digimon 3000 DP or less. I'm still on the fence on whether or not I like this one or not. I much rather would see these, but this is an option if you want to play it, but I'd recommend playing 4 copies of these. Next, we're going to jump into the level 3 cards. You're going to be playing 4 copies of the BT21. I keep forgetting what set this is from. BT21 Medusamon. On play, reveal top 3, add 1 reptile or dragonkin trait, and 1 card with the liberated trait from your hand. The rest go to the bottom of the deck. Inheritable. Once per turn, when a card is removed from security once per turn, you gain a memory, which is super nice to help keep turn. Next, you are going to be playing 4 copies of the BT24 Medusamon. On play, by trashing 1 card with the reptile or dragonkin or liberator trait from your hand, draw 2. So it's a nice on play, trash 1 to draw 2. Inheritable is the same as the previous. You gain a memory when a card is removed from security. Next, I am only playing 2 copies of the BT23 Medusamon. When this Digimon digivolve into a reptile or dragonkin in its trait, reduce the cost by 1. So it's a nice little ramp, or it's a nice little cheap cost rookie. I only play 2 of these because honestly, I don't think they're that important. Like, they come in handy, but if you have something like a training on the field, you would much rather just use the training to go into this. Next, I'm playing 1 copy of the BT22 or BT21 Agumon. On play, return 1 card with the reptile or dragonkin trait from your trash to the hand. Inheritable plus 2k. Same with this one, plus 2k. I still play this card because I don't play tons of Medusamons. I want to be able to recycle things and pull them back from trash when I need to. And lastly, we've got EX4 Rush Guilmon on play. If there are 20 or more cards in both players' trash, this Digimon gains Rush for the turn, just so you can end turn or end game as fast as possible. Rush is going to be very important for this deck. Next, we are playing 3 copies of the BT24 Digimon. It has blocker in all turns when any of your other Digimon with the reptile or dragonkin trait would leave the battle area by your opponent's effects. By returning this Digimon to the hand, they don't leave. So super nice little protection there. And then inheritable, same thing. Card is removed from security, you gain a memory. So very strong level 4. That's the memory gain is the most important thing in this deck. Next, we are playing 3 copies of the BT21 Digimon. When digivolving, if you have 1 or fewer Tamers, you may play 1 Owen Dreadnought from your hand without paying the cost. Same inheritable as the last one, gain a memory and a card removed from security. I'm only playing 3 of those because I find the next 4 cards to be very important. Next, we are playing 2 copies of the BT21 Cyclonemon. Security at the end of battle, play this card without paying the cost. On play, when digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4000 DP or less, inheritable 2k. I played this deck without these cards, and I was finding that I was generating a ton of tokens on my opponent's field without having any ways to delete them without getting into Medusamon. This card is incredibly important, and I will stand by that, and I will fight to the death. This card is very important. I strongly recommend keeping that or finding out a different way to delete those 3Ks and hit those tokens easier. Next, we are playing 2 copies of the BT24 Cyclonemon. This thing is a 2-cost Evo with Rush, Raid, and Heritable Raid, but it is a Dragonkin, which means your Lamiamon Inheritables can spit these out, and you're gaining Rush way easier than ever before, okay? That's why we're playing this card. It's very strong. Next, we're going to be playing 3 copies of the BT21 Lamiamon. Ooh, that's a little shiny, can't really see it. It's got progress. Your turn when an attack target is switched, or any of your reptile or dragonkin trait attacks are switched, trash the top of your opponent's security. So it's a nice little, if they block, you still get that security check, quote unquote. Inheritable all turns where your opponent's security is removed from. You may play 1 reptile or dragonkin trait Digimon with 5000 DP or less from your hand without paying the cost, which means you can spit Cyclonemons out, Dimitrimon, pretty much anything. You can literally play anything in this deck out. Next, 4 copies of the BT24 Medusamon. This has a hand main effect. If you have owned Dreadnought by placing one Digitromon from your trash as any of your Elizamon's bottom Digivolution cards, you can Digivolve for 3, ignoring its Digivolution requirements. When Digivolving, when attacking, your opponent places one card from their hand as the bottom security card and then trash the top of their security. Very, very strong. It is better than the Cyberdramon from before. This is incredibly useful because if you're Digivolving with that warp and you have Elizamon, Dimitramon, this is a one cost Evo. They trash the security, you gain 2 memory off of it. So very, very strong. Very much love this card. The all turns is the same as this all turns. You get to play something out. Lastly, I am playing one copy still of the BT21 Arresterdramon Superior Mode. It is Raid Piercing. When Digivolving, this Digimon may attack without suspending. All turns, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP for each card in its Digievolution cards and inheritable plus 2k. This is just a really nice, easy way to Digivolve, swing over something. If you keep turn, you can swing again. In addition to that, you can swing and get into those Medusamons, and they're still unsuspended. Next, I'm playing 4 copies of the BT24 Medusamon. It is Raid Progress Piercing. When Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest DP. Then by returning 2 cards from their trash to the bottom of the deck, you may play 2 Petrification tokens on your opponent's field. At the end of the battle, after this Digimon gets plus 2000 DP for each of your opponent's Digimon until the end of your turns. You can make your Medusamon huge. I got today this Medusamon up to 24k, and it didn't have any DP buff from the other inheritables. It is incredibly, incredibly strong. It does lack the security attack plus 1, but it is so good to load up your opponent's field, and then you can hit them with something like a Crimson Blaze, or use these Cyclomons to delete their It is such an incredibly good card. I strongly recommend you keep this at a 4 of or a 3 of at minimum. Lastly, I'm going to be playing one copy. It's the Ghost Rare of the BT21 Medusamon. Security attack plus 1. It's got progress. When Digivolving, end of attack. Once per turn, you may delete one of your opponent's Digimon at the lowest DP. All turns when any of your opponent's Digimon are deleted or their security stack is removed from, you may play 1 Petrification token on their field. This can be swapped out with a Black War Greymon Ace if you want to. I still play the 1 of because I like that security attack plus 1 and I enjoy that aggression that it supports, but it's completely up to your playstyles. Black War Greymon Ace is also a good opportunity. It is a Dragonkin that you can just get an ace target on, and I'm thinking about playing 3 of these, 1 Black War, 1 Medusamon, but this is what we're sticking with for right now. Next, I am playing 2 copies of Stryakomon. It's got Progress, It's got Progress, Piercing, Blocker, Armor Purge. When Digivolving, you may trash 1 of your opponent's security cards. This Digimon may unsuspend, this Digimon may unsuspend. All turns, when a card is removed from your opponent's security stack, you may delete 1 of their Digimon, so that's super nice. And then when any of your Reptile or Dragonkin trait Digimon would leave the battle area, by deleting 1 of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest DP, they don't leave. So that is a good, nice protection. The issue is if your opponent has Digimon that are immune to effects, then you don't get to protect it, but you're typically popping tokens with that effect. Lastly, I am playing 1 copy of the Omnimon X. It has Raid Piercing Blocker on play when Digivolving. If Omnimon or X antibodies in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, choose one of both players' highest level Digimon or highest play cost Digimon, delete all other Digimon, then return 1 of your opponent's Digimon to the bottom of the deck. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. It's choose 1 of your opponent's Digimon and 1 of your Digimon, delete all the rest, not 1 of their highest. I was thinking of Dynamon. End of turn, 1 of your Digimon may attack with Rush or may gain Rush and attack without suspending. That's why we play this card. It is an incredibly strong finisher. It's also a Liberator, and in my opinion, I favor it over this Stryakomon. This Stryakomon, I've had in my hand multiple times. I haven't even been able to get it out onto the field. Now, that might be player error. That just might be the card is not as good as I thought it was, but we're still playing 2 of just to see. You know, I'll mess with the ratios. Next, we're going to get into Tamers. We're playing 3 copies of the BT21 Owen Dreadnought. Right here. Start a main phase. If your opponent has a Digimon, gain a memory. End of turn. By suspending this Tamer, 1 of your Digimon with a Reptile or Dragonkin trait gains Piercing for the turn, and that Digimon may attack. So, super strong. The Piercing is really nice, especially if you don't have that Medusamon on the field and you do have a raid target where you have an inheritable raid here. You can swing into something. I just really like that one, especially for the memory gain. Next, we are playing 2 copies of the BT24 Owen Dreadnought. Start of your main phase, by returning this Tamer to the bottom of the deck, you may play 1 Owen Dreadnought from your hand without paying the cost. Then, if you don't have a Digimon, you may play 1 Elisamon from your trash without paying the cost. Your turn, when any of your Digimon digivolve into a Reptile or Dragonkin trait Digimon, by suspending this Tamer, that Digimon gets plus 3000 DP and may attack. So, super strong. We've got a bunch of ways to attack at end of turn if we want to. I'm really liking these Owens. I might mess with the ratios and do 2 and 2 and then use a different card or use that slot for something different, but that's what I've been doing now. Lastly, I do not like the Memory Setter Owen, so I have been playing 1 copy of the BT1 Tai Kamiya. It is a Memory Setter, and all of your red Digimon with 4 or more Digivolution cards gain Security Attack +1. Your Medusamon's always going to gain that, giving it a nice buff and extra swing into security is what this deck is all about. When you're playing this, you will notice you're going to be trashing your opponent's security a ton. I always try to make sure that I never leave them with with no security cards remaining if I can't keep or win the game that turn, because then a lot of my effects won't activate on my opponent's next turn. So keep that in mind when you're playing this deck. Next, we're going to play 1 copy of Red Scramble. This is just a staple card. It is main, one of your red Digimon may digivolve into a red Digimon with the cost reduced by 4. Or no, I'm sorry, not 4, 3. Then place this card in the battle area. Start of your turn, if your opponent has a Digimon, you delay. Return 1 red Digimon card from your trash at the top of the deck. Then you may play 1 with 2000 DP from your trash without paying the cost. We just like having 1 Red Scramble on. Prevents us from decking out. In addition to that, we can get pieces back. Next, I am playing 1 copy of the BT21 Raging Serpentine. When you would play this card from your hand, if your opponent has 3 or fewer security, reduce the cost by 4. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the highest DP, place it in the battle area. All turns, when a card is removed from security, your opponent's security, delay one of your Digimon with a Dragonkin trait may digivolve into a Reptile or Dragonkin without paying the cost. Very nice card. What I am noticing, though, is if your opponent is playing a very defensive control-y deck, it is difficult to remove their security and keep it consistently removed if you have not gotten in chip damage or a lot of things. So I'm playing 1 Raging Serpentine. I'm seeing how it goes. I was playing 2, but I subtracted 1 to play Crimson Blaze. This is, your opponent can't play Digimon by effect, delete all 6k or less. When you would play this card for each of your opponent's Digimon, reduce the cost by 1. The amount of tokens I spawned with this Medusamon, I was playing against my friend Mike, I think I put 7 tokens on his field. If I had 1 Crimson Blaze, that is a free Crimson Blaze, all of the security is gone. I might up this to 2. Now, keep in mind, this kind of goes against you in a lot of times. If you've got Medusamon on the field or you're ready to get into it, if you Crimson Blaze beforehand, your opponent can't play effects, which means you cannot put tokens on their field. This is specifically, if you generate a ton of tokens, you hard drop Crimson Blaze, you try and slow them down, you delete all of their tokens, and then their security is absolutely gone. Lastly, we are playing 3 copies of the unique emblem Blazing Conductor. You may play 1 Elisamon or Own Dreadnought from your hand or trash without paying the cost. Place this card in the battle area. When any of your Own Dreadnoughts suspend, delay one of your Reptile or Dragonkin trait Digimon may digivolve into a Digimon card with a Reptile or Dragonkin trait in the hand. Excuse me. And the Liberator trait with the hand with the cost reduced by 3. So super nice. The unique emblem is very, very strong. That is my Medusamon deck profile. Lastly, please do not forget about playing your petrification tokens. These are very, very important for the deck. I have 3 of them. Honestly, you might need more with this variant. What are you guys thinking? Are you enjoying Medusamon? Are you excited for all the new variants? Talk to me in the comments. What are you guys interested in seeing from Medusamon?